Last week, I put out a video in the hopes that we could start a friendly discussion about understanding those who don't want or don't even care to understand us. And I was glad to see all the comments from people about their own experiences on this topic. But we have still only scratched the surface here, and I believe that there is far more that we could be talking about. When it comes to wanting someone to understand you, it is vital that you feel like you are being listened to, that someone else actually wants to hear what you have to say. However, this seems to be a luxury that is becoming less and less frequent these days. More often than not, people just aren't interested in listening anymore. They're just waiting for their chance to talk. The next time you are in a conversation, try and take a mental note about how much you are listening. Or better still, try doing this during an argument. In an ideal debate, each person involved would present their own points and then listen to the counterpoints, which would lead to an honest discussion. Nowadays, though, it seems more and more that debates are becoming shouting matches to see who can make the most noise and drown out anyone who disagrees. I suppose the point here is how fewer people seem to remember how to listen. You hear it all the time. I just want someone to listen to me. He never listens. Nobody listens to what I say. I might as well be speaking to myself, in one ear and out the other. And even with some of those who seem to listen to what you have to say, you often get less than desirable results. I'm going to latch onto every negative thing you say and forget the rest. I'm just listening to you for the gossip. If it isn't about me, I don't care. I'm just pretending to listen because you have something that I want. I believe that a lot of the problems stem from people simply trying to find someone to listen to them, or even to force people to listen somehow. There are many flame wars that don't seem to accomplish anything beyond hurt feelings. There is internet addiction caused by people who just want to find someone to talk to. There are people who take part in poisonous friendships just so they feel like they can be accepted. Same germ that continues the spread of the same disease. So what does all this have to do with anti-bronies? Well, I hope that you will first take a moment and ask yourself why you decided to take part in the brony culture on the internet. There may be many of us who don't post any comments on the forums or the YouTube videos. I myself used to be one of those people only a couple months ago. But there are a great many more of us who take part in talking to one another about the things we enjoy in this fandom. Isn't it nice to have others to talk to? I may have gone for many years without posting any of my thoughts to any forum or YouTube page, but I have to admit now that having come across so many that actually want to hear what I have to say, the feeling is quite exhilarating. The feeling of having others listening to you is very uplifting. Now, take a moment and ask yourself, what if there weren't any people out there who were willing to listen to you? What if every thought and idea that you posted online never got any response? What if the people in your own life didn't really care what you had to say? How would that make you feel? How would you react? There are many people out there who simply close themselves up when they feel like no one wants to listen to them. But there are many others who feel so driven to have someone take notice of them that they are willing to say or write whatever it takes just to get a reaction. Perhaps even to the point of belittling or outright criticizing others for their choice of hobbies. Does any of this sound familiar? Have you ever come across someone who wants to put you down just because they want to get a reaction out of you? Have you ever had the experience of feeling so neglected that you were willing to do something that you knew was wrong just so that others would take notice of you? Do you have any idea what that feels like? There are a lot of people in the world today who know exactly what that feels like, each and every day. So, when we come across an anti-brony in the future, how should we react? There may be many anti-bronies out there who take their enjoyment from seeing others being hurt by their words. But I believe that there may be some anti-bronies out there who have either had a bad experience with the brony fandom or just feel the need to speak out simply because they want someone else to listen to them. I believe that every person in the world today would like to have the opportunity to have someone listen to them. There may be many different reasons as to why they want others to listen, but the goal is the same. People want to be understood, and when a person feels understood, they are far more willing to understand others around them. So what does this mean for us? Well, I suppose that depends. Dealing with a hateful anti-brony is not an easy thing, and perhaps not everyone has the capacity to reach out to them. But I hope that each of you will take a moment and think, why does this person seek to hate? There may be some people out there without any legitimate reasons as to why they hate. But then again, perhaps there are those who simply want someone else to notice them. Even sometimes for the wrong reasons, but the need to be understood is still there. It would be easy to answer a hateful comment with more hate, and that would just start up another flame war. It is more difficult to simply ignore the hater and move on, but that may not always be the best answer. Actually taking the time to try and talk to an anti-brony is likely the most difficult prospect of all, and there may be situations where even being patient and compassionate may not help. But imagine for a moment that there are people out there that could be helped just by listening to them, not seeking to make them understand you, but just taking the time to understand them. I know this sounds incredibly difficult, and to be honest, it really is. But if we ever want to understand anti-bronies, then that means actually taking the time and effort to understand them. Each person will have their own reasons for doing what they do, but I believe that everyone in the world wants to feel understood. If we can look past the front that they present and realize that there is likely a reason for what they are doing, and that reason is probably much more complex than simple hatred, then we can begin to rise above the flame wars and the petty bickering. So, I hope you will allow me to present some tips on how to deal with an anti-brony. First and foremost, don't feed the trolls. They just swallow it and beg for more. Regardless of how emotions flare, don't lose yours. The victor in a discussion is the one who remains calm and reasonable. Also, don't be afraid to walk away from a discussion. You have nothing to prove to those who strive to belittle you. And finally, as Stephen Covey so wisely said, seek first to understand before being understood. If you have ever had any experiences in dealing with those who want to put you down because of your choice of hobbies, I hope that you will be willing to share your thoughts and feelings on this topic. And for each of you who find comfort and camaraderie within the brony community, I hope that you will remember the lessons that we have been taught by MLP. That friendship is magic, and the most important thing you can do with that lesson is to spread that knowledge to others. With honesty, kindness, laughter, generosity, and loyalty. Remember these words, and let us create a little magic in our own lives and in the lives of others. I am Dr. Wolf, and I look forward to hearing from you.